I'm waiting for it to turn to a westerly wind so that
Was it really hot?
hey,
It was
what
like
happened to my
would have been 90 degrees.
So Nick, I was asking for ropes to lash the base, not lash the top, lash the base to it in that little nook. So ropey. And Tom, that leg there could probably come down one notch. That might make it a little less out of kilter. A12, thank you very much. I don't mean to be airing that for everybody, but it's an easy way for me to speak to you and for Zach to hear what's going on in the rest of the area. And I run out of things to say.
Period.
I mean, that's just.
Couldn't you get parental consent? What is there?
I think it's 6. Yeah, I think you get parental consent at 16.
Bingo! All right.
See, this is what happens when we legalize gay marriage. Then everyone gets gay marriage.
Everyone gets
It's
gay
not.
married,
It's not
is that
a
what
thing
you
of.
said?
Everyone gay married.
It's just everyone. Everyone that's not married right now.
Okay,
we just
sign
partner
me
them
up.
Everyone
gets to get
you know
married.
what?
Everyone
It's
gets
funny
to
because
get married.
The one guy that's was my main story.
I want to photograph everyone's gay wedding.
This guy I know that's gay, but he's so heavily involved in the church that he can't. He believes that his same-sex attraction is due to the fact that he had a bad relationship with his dad.
Yeah.
And so, he's on the other side, of course. He voted yes last year and everything, but when he called me on Thursday after the vote on Thursday, and he was saying, "Hey, man, I've got this big Grecian pot I bought, and I need 2 guys to help me get it off my truck. Can you help me?" So I said, okay. I showed up at his house. He had another guy there, and we unloaded it. The other guy left, and then Tim was like, "Well, congratulations on your win. I know it's an important issue for you. And even though I believe it's wrong, I do hope that I can marry a guy someday." And that was so good for him.
That's so cute.
I know. I was like, oh, I should have been recording. But then he wouldn't have said it. He wouldn't have said it. No. But yeah.
It is so cute.
I'm so fucking tired. Yeah, why is
You've been keeping them up or something?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah, how late were you up till? Yeah, like,
No, no, today. No, it's mainly just because I've been doing it.
everyone's taking pictures of us now.
I'm too much stuff. Because you're talking about them? No,
Yeah, as soon as
it's
you
because
plan
I don't want to
they
bring my
go turn and
purse,
start
so I
taking
have like everything in my boobs.
His entire life has been documented.
Yeah, I don't want to
okay?
like carry
Are you
it
gonna
around.
survive?
I put it down and lose it.
Yeah. Are you gonna
So I
survive
have
the
like
party?
my keys and money
sure?
and driver's license.
Yeah, it's indoors, air conditioned.
You guys are dorks.
Stop taking pictures of me.
They're adorable. You get a photographer friend and this is what happens.
Oh god, just look away, just don't.
See, I have photographer friends, but I never do anything that's like worth taking a photo of. So they're just like, do something interesting, and I'm like,
They are doing something interesting. They are living.
Stop it, just
They're living
the most interesting
equal
thing
life.
I've done today.
equal life.
We're not wearing
I had
Here's some mints so you
Now
can
that
be
you're
ready
already
for kissing tonight.
Awesome. Thank you.
did special something.
Yeah, probably some.
Okay.
Not all.
Ian, I gotta go find my friend abandoned here.
Okay. You told me to
Kissing's
introduce
good.
her.
I kiss lots of
Introduce her to me.
Just like what?
You promised. Yesterday. You didn't
It's
introduce
not
your
even the
friend.
right friend. This is a friend who just last minute said,
Oh,
I can't get over there. Pick me up. Okay.
Okay, go.
What
Go.
friend am I supposed to introduce
I
you
don't
to?
remember. You were talking about someone, or it was someone else. I don't
Was
remember.
I drunk?
Yeah, you were pretty drunk. Yeah. Friend that doesn't exist? Maybe? We'll figure it out later.
I mean, maybe it was my imaginary friend.
Maybe. We'll do introductions a little bit later. Go pick up your stuff. Well, there's no photographer. By the way. What?
And we really appreciate it.
Could have been that.
Thank you so much. It's my honor.
Dog legs right there. Must have been just something good.
Remember to use the mouse, guys.
I'll be really fast.
Oh, the mouse is turned on?
Can't see the podium. Can't see the podium.
It's blocked,
Crowd
but
though. Sure, you come up here. You're okay.
and I got mints for people so you can be ready to pucker up later. Yeah, they pretty much ignored us during the campaign, but now that
Just excited. I haven't seen a lot of haters. But maybe they're just sad.
Not strong for your right here. That's a good Here you go. You're gonna drop yourself.
And how many people are going to have to get
Stealth chases one more time.
Another day from Minnesota. What a difference a year and an election can make in our state. Last year there were concerns that marriage equality would be banned here forever. Now, my signature will make it legal in 2.5 months. First and foremost, I want to thank the people of Minnesota who voted last year to defeat a very destructive constitutional amendment. And also elect courageous legislators who will support this monumental social advance. I want to thank the activists, all of you here tonight, and the thousands more throughout our state who worked so long and so hard to win this extraordinary victory. And at the risk of leaving out many deserving leaders, special recognition should go to Richard Carlbaum. Richard brilliantly masterminded last year's and this year's campaign. Congratulations to the Chief Authors, Representative Karen Clark and Senator Scott Hibbert. We will be speaking to you shortly. They shepherded this bill along an often difficult path, and they've now succeeded, to the amazement of some and to the delight of many of us. Thank you to the House and Senate leaders, Speaker Paul Thiessen, Majority Leader Tom Bach, who I think is in the Senate, Majority Leader Aaron Murphy, Senator Katie Stevens, and she's in the Senate too. Working on the child care and I want to express my utmost admiration to the Republican and Democratic legislators who voted for this bill. Many of them are standing here behind me, and they deserve to hear our gratitude. I suggested to you legislators that you read John F. Kennedy's Profiles in Courage book. Instead, you wrote its latest chapter. By your political courage, you joined that pantheon of exceptional leaders who did something truly extraordinary, who changed the course of history for our state and our nation. Our country's founding principle was stated 237 years ago in the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. That they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That principle is later embodied in the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. No state shall deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Unfortunately, our nation's founding fathers had bold aspirations but bad implementation. They were wrongly denied those equal rights and protections to women, African Americans, and other racial minorities. They also left out GLBT men and women. If you believe as I do, that life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness certainly include the right to marry the person you love. Since then, our country's most important progress has been to extend those equal rights and protections to everyone. That progress has often been difficult, controversial, and initially divisive. However, it has always been the next step ahead in fulfilling this country's promise to every American. So it is now my honor to sign into law this next step for the state of Minnesota to fulfill its promise to every Minnesotan.
had we never guessed 2 years ago when we had that horrible constitutional amendment proposed that we would be here today. But we work in strange ways in our culture, in the legislature, in Minnesota, and I believe we're very blessed to be here today. I want to share with you something that I talked about on the floor of the Minnesota legislature. I shared this photo, and I'm going to quote what the line says on the photo. And who's in this photo? 20 years ago, 1993, when we added sexual orientation to the Minnesota Human Rights Act. Remember that? This sign, carried by my mother Millie and my dad Joseph, says, "Our gay children should have the same rights as our heterosexual children." Another family from P-Flag, parents and families of lesbians and gays, and they marched in that parade. And I have to say, they really gave me the courage to do what we needed to do just a couple of days ago. That was 20 years ago. And getting to that point had taken 20 years before that. And so I just want to recognize that as we talked about the debate on the floor, we talked about families, and that this is so much about our families. And I want to recognize, although my mother and father have passed, I do have some of my family members here who came all the way from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, my brother Edward, and my sister Mary, my nephew Philip, and my two great nephews. And I just want to say, I heard a story today from my nephew Michael, who told me that in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, in the Catholic school where he goes, he stood up and defended the rights of gay and lesbian people. And for that, he got out of school to come today. And Partner Jacqueline and I are particularly grateful. We always said that if we did decide to tie the knot, we'd want to do it here in Minnesota. And so, we just wait a little while for an announcement, but let me just say, and it means so much to have had the support of our wonderful state legislators. And I do thank our Speaker, Paul Thiessen, and Majority Leader Aaron Murphy in particular, for their great leadership. All the colleagues who are here, I think a few who are not, and was mentioned earlier, this was some risky votes for some of our folks, and I just want you to thank them in whatever way you can and let them know how much you appreciate it. There are many, many great people out here. Thank you. We're not supposed to be too political today, but of course, none of this would have happened without the tremendous grassroots campaign movement that was created in response to that horrible constitutional amendment. And as was mentioned earlier, one of the main persons we need to thank in the organization that he created is Richard Carl Bauman. Richard, your work reminds me. Your work and your success reminds me of something that Paul Wellstone said. This is a paraphrase. He basically said, change comes from the grassroots, when people demand that their government does the right thing. That's what Paul Wellstone said, and I thank all of my colleagues here who did the right thing for us, for all of the future, for our children, for our families, and thank you. I thank you for loving each other, for taking the responsibilities and the commitments that it takes to form a family, to create marriages, and to go forward in Minnesota and let all the world celebrate with us. Now, there's a Senate colleague of mine without whom this would have been impossible. So I have the honor of introducing our friend, my brother, Senator Scott Dibble.
you are so beautiful. I wish everyone could be right here and see what I see. It's an amazing sight. Thousands of Minnesotans coming together on the Capitol lawn in love. Governor Dayton, Lieutenant Governor Frederick Solon, Secretary of State Ritchie, State Auditor Otto, my friends, my colleagues, everyone gathered here. Today is a day for rejoicing and celebrating in Minnesota. Held for so long by everyone gathered here, by those who came before us and those who are yet to come. Those dreams are going to come true. The dream of a life filled with joy, a happy, healthy family. It sounds so normal. And it's going to come true. Today is the day to say thank you. Thank you. I want to name just a few. And it's a dangerous path I step on for sure. So if I don't say your name, know how much I love you, know how much I appreciate everything you've done. But just a few, I have to, of course, thank my husband, Richard Leba. Our dream came true 4.5 years ago in California, now it's going to be true here in Minnesota. My amazing, loving family, my sisters Carrie and Deanna, and I think my sister Kelly are here. And the Governor, you have been a stalwart champion for so long. Your leadership, speaking out so strongly, that State of the Union speech. And just very quickly, I could go on for a while. A few mentors and heroes. Andy Groot is here, who, I'm wearing this button. This is a campaign we started in 1989, so the city of Minneapolis will provide health care benefits to its employees. And we didn't quite get there because the laws of our state over in that court said no. But Andy Groot, thank you for starting this movement so long ago. This campaign I was lucky enough to manage 20 years ago, and then I got to sit next to her on the House of Representatives. And I have the amazing and awesome fortune of holding the seat that the late, great Senator Alice Spear held for so long. And I think this partner Jim is here. I hope I've honored the legacy of Alice Spear. I can only hope to do that. I want to recognize someone who often just plays a behind-the-scenes role, but she is an amazing, awesome leader. Best decision I ever made was to ask her to step in and help whip this campaign into shape, and that's Christine Almeida, who's the board of Minnesota. She's hating me right now. And it was through her leadership, working with Monica Meyer out front, who succeeded. And our amazing leadership at Project 515, Van Kaner Roth. Came together with that board and we hired the phenomenal Richard Carlbaum. And someone else is going to hate me for thanking him in public, and I thanked him privately this morning and we couldn't stop crying. My assistant in my office, who has done so much to help build and strengthen this movement, was there every step of the way with me and this organization, Michael Gordon. Thank you. Mary Redmond, also a part of the leadership, has been a special friend. A recognize Mike McConnell and Jack Baker. Mike McConnell was with us yesterday in the gallery, representing himself and Jack Baker. We tried to get married in 1970, and again, we're turned down flat by the laws of this state. And then these amazing colleagues I have in the House and the Senate, right here. With a couple of exceptions, all straight allies. They stepped out for our community. Such heroism. The struggle for greater justice and freedom in our country has always been hard and full of risk. But the beauty of this country is we have so many people willing to put it all on the line. Live with openness, honesty, and courage. And so many of you have done that for so long. And rather than get tired by the journey, I've seen your energy grow with every step and every setback. I am amazed and awe-inspired that I get to be the lucky guy who stands here today, right here, right now. How could I be so lucky? So thank you for being heroes in your own lives, in the lives of your children, your family, and your friends. Your dignity and your hard work brought this day. And last time I say today is the day that we bring Minnesota together. As we have done throughout this campaign, we have brought Minnesota together, but there's more to do. So continue to go out across this land, every prairie, every town, in the Northlands, in the prairies of the southwestern part of the state, and bring that spirit of grace and love and openness, because we do have it within our power to speak about the values that unite us as being so more important than those that divide us. We can continue to bring this state together through this movement that we've built. About the young people who get to fall in love, decide to marry the person they love, run home, tell mom and dad, have that wedding, what joy that'll bring. People who will never know who we are, never know our names. That's why we're here. Now that's a legacy we can be proud of. Having created something so beautiful, a future so bright, is a gift in your heart that you'll be able to carry forever. We share that gift here together. Let's cherish it. Let's celebrate. Let's have a wonderful day and a wonderful future. Thank you very much. Another hero, another great leader, Speaker Paul Thiessen. It's not easy pulling together a bunch of legislators. Herding cats doesn't even begin to describe it. He was able to do that, and they had an awesome victory. 75 votes for marriage equality.
Well, this really is a proud day for Minnesota, and a day that we should step back and celebrate, and I think that's what this is all about. So thank you all for being here. And it really is, I'm lucky to be the person standing here and seeing all of you, but the legislators standing behind me and all of you out here and all around this state who stepped up and made this happen are the folks that really should take credit in this day to make Minnesota, and this is what it's all about, a place where everyone has the freedom to marry the person they love. It's as simple as that. That's what we're celebrating today. This whole thing hasn't, I don't think, sunk in, certainly hasn't for me, and for many of us, but thinking back over the last 2 years, and what it took to get to this moment. And the word that keeps coming back to me is the word faith. Faith that we can talk to each other as Minnesotans about some really tough issues and come to the right question, the right solution, the right answer to those discussions, and change hearts and minds, one on one on one. That is an amazing thing that so seldom happens in our politics these days. This movement that was put together achieved something that, I mean, this having marriage for everybody is a great thing, but I think it's even more than that. I think it's the way that we got here and the model this can be for creating a better Minnesota. It's our politics, our work, and I thank all of you for that. I really want to thank you. You know, this has been a journey to marriage equality has been a long, long, long time coming, and Karen has been there every single step of the way, and with a lot of endurance and a lot of faith. And you know, if you know her, you know how tenacious she can be. I've learned that. But on this one, I'm glad that she has that quality. And I want to thank my state senator, Scott Dibble. I'm very proud that he's my state senator, who's also been tireless for the last 2 years. He's the guy who stepped up on that record night 2 years ago and said we can change this, and it turned out. So thank you, Scott. I want to thank Governor Payton for his leadership on this. Time and time again, citing the values of equality and what's best for the state of Minnesota and its people without compromise, without fearing the consequences. It's the kind of principled leadership we really need more of in this state. And of course, everybody, yes, let's give the governor one more. And a tremendous friend of mine and someone who I so incredibly respect. But at the end of the day, what I really want to thank today, and I'm standing as their representative for you, the Minnesota House of Representatives and the Minnesota Senate. People who, importantly on both sides of the aisle, stepped up and proved that marriage equality is not a partisan issue. It's an issue that unites Minnesotans, and I think that that's such an important lesson for us to carry forward. That this isn't about Democrats and Republicans and independents, it's about the people of Minnesota, and especially those 4 brave Republicans in the House. And the governor mentioned that from the Declaration of Independence, and I think the amazing thing is what we can take from this today is that the pursuit of happiness is contagious, and it can carry us forward going into the future, and we're going to need that because we're going to have other tough issues we're going to have to handle together to continue to make Minnesota a place where the prosperity grows for everybody, and that everybody, you know, participating in marriage is so important. But without economic freedom, without the ability to live a life and to raise a family and to get by, we can't do it. So we have a lot of work to do, not just about these equality issues, but about making Minnesota a place where truly everyone is valued and everyone has a chance to get ahead. And that's what our work here at the legislature is all about. I hope that after celebrating and after celebration today, you will come back and help us continue to try to achieve this greater Minnesota that we need, where everybody's valued, because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all that you did. We wouldn't be here without every single one of you. So now, I get really the distinct pleasure of introducing a true hero, the true hero of this whole movement. That's Richard Carlbaum. You did it, Minnesota. Congratulations and thank you. Thank you so much to Governor Payton, Representative Aaron Murphy, and Speaker Paul Thiessen, Senator Dibble, Senator Bach, Representative Karen Clark. Thank you to all the legislators who made this day happen. Thank you so much. Let's give them one more round of applause. Years as Minnesota had this conversation about why marriage matters, I had the honor and privilege of speaking at some events with one of Minnesota's most prominent business leaders, Marilyn Carlson Nelson. And in one of those events, I had the opportunity to hear her recite a poem by Edwin Markham called "Outwitted," and I want to share that with you today. It goes like this: He drew a circle that shut me out. Heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle and took him in. Minnesota, you redrew the circle. The efforts of the last 2 years have been supported by some amazing people and organizations. And I want to start out by thanking the Minnesota United for All Families campaign, the organizers, the field team, the campaign team, everybody on staff, and all the down here in front. You organize this state like nothing else. Congratulations. I want to say thank you to Christina Almeida, who is the board chair for Minnesota United 1.0. She did a fantastic job keeping more than 40 board members all united and driving behind one idea, and that is that Minnesota could be the first state in the country to defeat one of these hurtful amendments. I want to thank the board of the current Minnesota United team, the legislative board, including the leaders of Project 515, Ann Kenner Roth, and out front Minnesota, Monica Meyer, the co-chairs of that board. None of this would not be possible with the amazing help that we got from folks at Freedom to Marry, the Human Rights Campaign, the Task Force, American Unity Fund, and the Mosier Foundation. Thank you so much for all that you've done. The legislation that Governor Dayton signed today is going to change the lives of thousands of Minnesotans. Every Minnesotan. I know that 6 years ago, 10 years ago, longer than that, when I came out of the closet, I put this idea of getting married up on the top shelf in the back of that closet. And when I walked out, I never thought in a million years that in the state that I call home, I would, in December of this year, be able to promise my love and commitment to the person who inspires me each and every day, my partner Justin. So thank you. Thank you for thousands of lives are going to change, and thousands of families are impacted in a deep and meaningful way. And on behalf of Minnesota United, our coalition partners, all of our amazing campaign team, all of you thousands and thousands of volunteers, I want you to help me welcome Dr. Paul Melkert and his partner James Zimmerman, and they're going to tell you in their own words how meaningful this is to their family.
Okay, so for all of you that have seen the YouTube clip, you know what may be coming. I just am so grateful to have the amazing opportunity to stand up here and thank you as a state of Minnesota on behalf of all LGBT families, to realizing that this is all about the children and it is all about us as families. This is a beautiful victory for everyone. A victory in the sense that this is a victory of justice and equality in which everybody wins. We are all winners, there are no losers, and we have a victory like this. A man and a woman can still fall in love and enjoy the beauty and sanctity of marriage. And now, two men and two women can also have that same beauty and same sanctity, and making a lifetime commitment and promise to each other. As a pediatrician and parent, I've dedicated my personal and professional life to taking care of my children and the children of others. And as a husband, father, pediatrician, and a lifetime Minnesota, I am so proud that marriage equality is strong. First of all, I'm so grateful to all of you, the legislators standing up here, all the people involved in the campaign, and those of you that talk to your friends and your neighbors at church, over the fence of what can be done for marriage equality. As a husband, James and I first met 10 years ago and fell in love as we trained for our triathlon together with running, biking, and swimming. Late in August, on one of those perfect Minnesota days, mornings, when we were getting up to go for a swim, when the air is very crisp and cool and the water is still warm. Before we jumped in, I bent down on my knee, gave James a ring, and asked him to spend the rest of my life with me. We got married in our church in a ceremony of holy union, bought a home, and started a family. We have a beautiful life together, but until today, legally we were nothing more than roommates. And very soon, we will be legal husbands. Much like many of the other families that are standing here with me today, we didn't have a choice to become parents. We needed and wanted to become parents. We just needed to figure out how. We're fortunate to find a wonderful surrogate who helped us navigate that, and we held hands as we prayed during an emergency C-section as our premature twins were about to be born. They came out and were healthy. We nurtured them every day for those 9 days in the special care nursery with wonderful care of the doctors and nurses there. We had to share a twin hospital bed for those 9 nights. That's what makes us a family. We're grateful that there's so many families that did this before us. Our friends Kathy and Cindy, our friends Mark and Ron, Tim and Eric, and Peter and Steve, that did this before there were any protections available for families like ours that we needed to become families. And now we have the same rights, benefits, and protections that all Minnesota families can enjoy. I'm grateful as a pediatrician. I take care of many gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender parents and their children, and also GLBT children. I am very fortunate we've expanded the rights, benefits, and protections to all of these families. Research is clear that it is not the form that our families take, but the nurturing of the relationships and the interactions within our families. For GLBT youth that are growing up and knowing that they can grow up, fall in love, and marry the person they love. I couldn't help but think as I was rounding in the newborn nursery this morning on all of these newborn babies, thinking these children are going to be growing up knowing nothing but marriage equality. The rest is history. Finally, as a lifelong Minnesotan, I grew up in a small Minnesota town. I was educated in the public school systems. I graduated from St. Olaf College in Northfield. I attended medical school and did my pediatric residency at the University of Minnesota. My husband James, and Gabriel, and Emmett and I live in Minneapolis, and I work and worship in St. Paul. We left the small town, we do live in the protection of the big city, and we're very fortunate for that. In many small towns, it's not safe for our GLBT families or our GLBT children. And I just want to read something from an editorial that one of our favorite moms, Erin Keyes, recently wrote. She wrote, "Before we left, we were the kid who mowed your lawn. We were the cheerleader captain, we led your church choir, we were your bachelor farmer uncle. We were the high school valedictorian. We were the 4-H ribbon winner. We were the quiet artist who wrote, painted, sang, and made life a little more beautiful. We were the girls' basketball coach. We were your family members and your neighbors." My hope is that through marriage equality, that this will somehow allow us to reconnect us to home. We want the healing, the freedom, the opportunity, and homecoming for everybody. Military family, so we spent many years picking up and relocating to a new state and also to other countries. His family set roots in Wisconsin, and James graduated from the University of Wisconsin at Madison. But was recruited here almost 20 years ago, and he's lived here. And he told me this weekend that as we saw what was going to be happening in this historic vote in Minnesota, that for the first time he felt like he was home. So, welcome home, James. And thank you to all of the support throughout the entire state of Minnesota. Thank you.
I want to recognize one very special guest among all of you special guests, and that's Marilyn Carlson Nelson, who's one of the leaders of the Minneapolis, Minnesota civic community. And former Chief Justice Kathleen Blatz of the Minnesota Supreme Court. And I want to especially recognize my distinguished Lieutenant Governor, Yvonne Kretner-Solon. And I have one to include a request. There are an awful lot of you packed together here. So please leave slowly and carefully and don't trample anybody. Go celebrate. Love is the law.